What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going over the Sandbox as it has been absolutely crushing it. I mean, absolutely flying, seeming like it just can't be stopped. Now, in the last video, we went over the short, mid, and long-term outlooks for this thing, in which we said that if we saw that break above 446, do be expecting this thing to continue its move to the upside, and that although I wouldn't be aping in, I definitely think that could serve as a great buying entry. Take a quick listen. So what I would be doing is waiting for the 4-hour close up above $4.46 before making that big buy, before increasing my position or starting a position or something of that nature. So we were talking about this key level, the key breakout level of this $4.46 region. And of course, on the short term, if you did get in on that trade, you are looking up about 30+% just in the span of less than 48 hours. So of course, major congratulations to you. But also in that video, what we talked about was that in the midterm, we were looking at the party pooper, the RSI, the bearish divergence forming there, in which we saw the price setting a new high, of course, a higher high, while looking at the RSI being in quote unquote overbought territory or above the 70 on the RSI, setting a lower high. Now, this is a cold case of bearish divergence. This is the party pooper, the fun spoiler. This is usually what's going to lead to some type of rather large correction in the midterm. But what we can see happening at this exact moment is the possible correction of this bearish divergence, which would be absolutely extremely bullish. Now, the reason that I say that is, generally speaking, once we get a cold case of bearish divergence and, our noses start sniffling, we start to feel not too good, what will usually happen is that the price is going to start to continuously see these higher highs, possibly, but our RSI is going to start to set these lower highs, in which we're going down, and then when the correction happens, it happens really hard because we're looking at such a strong case of bearish divergence on the top side. It causes a decent amount of selling pressure, and just the overall bearish momentum kicks pretty hard into gear, which causes the price to see a pretty large pullback. But we can see something a little bit different playing out right now, which is very interesting. Now, we have not confirmed it yet. It has not gone into effect. But what you can see is that if we just draw a little line on the RSI, we've actually broken the high. Now, what that tells me is that we may be on track to beat this party pooper. We may be on track to clear through some of this bearish divergence to possibly set a new high on the RSI on the daily charts, which would invalidate this bearish divergence, which would say that we could still be looking at a healthy, which is crazy, but healthy move to the upside that may not be followed by a larger correction to the downside. This would be absolutely huge for the short and midterm holders of the Sandbox. Now, I've told you guys before that in the long term, I believe that Sandbox should be closer to Mana in market cap. And being the fact that it is still not there, I do believe that it has some long-term growth. And I think as the metaverse does kick into gear throughout a more of a crypto winter or a bear market, I think that's when we'll really see, metaverse cryptos hit their true stride. But I do believe that in the long term, there is some potential. So if you're holding this really long term and you don't care what happens in the short term, then this really doesn't mean much for you. But if you are in on this thing for the short and midterm, the possible setting of a new high on the RSI and the invalidation of some short-term bearish divergence and possibly some eventual clearing of the 88 level on the RSI would have us clear this key level, which says that we break through, we set a new high again, and we invalidate bearish divergence, which means that when it starts coming down, it realistically could consolidate. It could very barely retrace without seeing some rather large crash, which is usually what is followed by bearish divergence. So what this means for us is that at the moment, what we should be looking out for is how do we start to set these highs? Now, eventually we will roll. Eventually we will start to see the price coming back down to set some lows. At that point, where's our RSI? Do we complete the higher high? Do we come back down to set in a low and make one more bounce, one more swift move to the upside to set the new high, here? Higher highs, and validating the, again, bearish divergence, and possibly allowing us to continue this run without seeing some 40, 50, 60% fall. So what I'm looking at right now, before doing anything else, is do we get our way back up to the 88 level on the RSI to set this new high? That's all I care about. We got in on the last video at about $4.46. Again, since then, we're looking at gains of well into the 33+%. So I'm very happy with that entry. I'm not doing too much aping in at this exact moment. But what I am looking out for is, do we start to set these new highs and invalidate it? Because that will open up an even bigger door going forward for when we can make some more entries on maybe a minor retracement or some type of consolidation, because we may not see that large correction back down to the low $2 or $3. This is absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very excited to see how this does turn out. Taking a quick look at the daily MACD, you can see the complete reversal in momentum. You can see this being, this move being, of course, confirmed and validated by seeing that the MACD doesn't even seem remotely close to any convergence. It's working its way up. It's still going up to set some new highs, and it does show that we are still well within bullish territory. And this looks very good to say that we may have enough momentum, just a little bit of enough momentum, to go up to invalidate that bearish divergence that we spoke of on the RSI, which would of course be absolutely massive. So keep an eye out on this. I will continue to update you guys. I will be out of town tomorrow and Thursday, but I'll make a video Thursday morning updating you guys on your favorite cryptos. And all you have to do to never miss one of these videos is, first and foremost, like it so more people get to see it. But secondly, turn on notifications when you subscribe to the Tyler Hill Investing channel, and you'll never miss a video, and you will stay as up to date, and you can get in on some of these buys that we do that go up 30+% in a couple of days. You get involved, you join in, leave a comment down below, let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.